Hello and welcome to another episode of Ken Training, where we try to give you, the YouTube audience, the training that you need to tackle projects like this on your own. Today's project is going to be re-stuccoing a retaining wall. Now I've already been into this project and I'm at the tail end of it. Let me show you right over here. Do you see that? That's the tail end of this project right over here. Let me show you around the yard so you can see how this whole project went through. This project started over here at the beginning of this retaining wall, came up, came over to here, over to here. Let me pan back so you can see the whole thing. And then went around the corner. Doing behind these bushes was a big pain, just getting all scratched up. Over to here, over to here, over to here. And I've stopped somewhere over here. And now I can give you that little bit that's left over. So basically, since I started the project, and because I'm not a professional stucco expert person and I'm just a DIYer here, so as I find with many projects, when you start something for the first time, you start off, you go through all those learning curves. By the time you finish the project, you're feeling pretty comfortable about the application of the project. That's a training that I'm going to give you right now, after I've done all the way and I'm at the tail end of my project. Now, the wall has already been prepped. Check out my channel. I'll try to leave a link in the bottom here so that you can see the prep of the wall, which is basically scraping off all the loose stucco material. I had a 2400 psi pressure washer, blasted everything off. As a matter of fact, if you're looking at the wall, you can see how clean that wall is. Check this out. That wall is etched clean. All the old paint has been removed. I mean, I'm down to bare bones here, so it's coming out that the wall is prepped really good. By the way, so here's the finished product. This is the finish that I am achieving with this technique. It's called the 1620 finish, stucco finish, which is basically just a sand aggregate type of a finish, and I'm trying to go for a smooth finish. I'm going to show you every single step right now, and we'll mix up a few batches. I just do small batches to do my stucco. This is my mixing station right here. Half-inch drill with my half-inch drill with my egg beater mixer right there in the end. 5-gallon bucket, and then I've got some quart containers. One there for the water, and I have another quart container somewhere over there. Let's see, where is it? Right there, and that's for the dry mix. The dry mix, this is the secret sauce right here. Rapid Set Stucco Patch. Patch and paint ready in 2 hours. That is our go-to product. I must be on my 25th box of this product because that's how much it takes. Okay, but anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to mix up a batch. We're going to get it over there on the wall, and then we're going to go right to it, and we'll show you every single step. First thing I want to do is I want to look at my wall to determine where my next material is going to go. Is it going to go on the wall, or is it going to go on top? What I like to do personally is I like to do the top down. So you can, if you can see the top, you can see the top has not been touched yet. Okay, so we still have to do that whole top section right there. So so that's going to be my intention, to start with the top down. Now stucco is extremely porous and it's like a sponge, so before I mix up my batch, what I'm going to do is just take my garden hose, which I've got right over here, and I'm just going to put a little bit of water on the top here, just so that it's got a little bit of pre-soak into it. In this way it won't completely absorb every single amount of moisture on my Rapid Set Stucco patch. So let's do that right now. You'll also see that I like to keep some cardboard directly underneath my project. That way if I spill any, the cardboard is relatively clean. I can pick up that part and put it back on the wall rather than losing the product. If it spills onto the dirt, it's trash. So that's why I keep cardboard underneath my project area. Okay, now we're going to mix up a batch. So I'm going to take some water, and the water should be cool because it's hot outside. And I just use a half of a container of water, of 1 quart of water, and that, so I have my ratio down pretty good. So there's a half of a quart of water here. I can always add to that, put that in my mixing bucket. Then what I'm going to do, let me show you, is I've got my rapid set stucco. I got a 1 quart container here for the dry, and I'm going to go ahead and take 1 container, 1 quart of that, put that in there. Then we're going to mix that up. It's going to be pretty soupy, but we're going to mix that up right now. Alright, hopefully you can see how soupy that is. It's pretty soupy. And now I'm going to put in 1 more quart of the powder, of the stucco patch. There we go. Now let's see, mix that up and see what we get, and see how thick it is. We can always add more powder or more water as needed. Okay, that's good. I can tell just from the consistency that's going to be good. Now I have to immediately rinse out my egg beater mixer. You got to keep your tools clean because they'll get hard because of that rapid set stucco patch. Now let's get to our wall. Okay, I want to start here and work my way down. Get some material on the wall. Now personally, I like to have some gloves on. So I have some thick, very thick gloves, and I like to work with gloves on. Put those on. Okay, now we got the sun against us, so we have to move fairly quickly because it's setting up. I'm trying to achieve a crowned top so the water doesn't pond in the middle. You don't want a divot. If anything, you want a high point in the middle. Sometimes you don't have to do it all in one application. You can do it in 2 coats. But we'll get as far as we can with this. We'll see how far it takes us. I want to stop right about where the cardboard ends. Right about here. Alright. Now, what I'm going to try to do is try to get that crown top going on. Okay, this is not looking bad. And this batch is almost empty. So we're just going to burn this batch out. Okay. Try to scrape out as much as I can here. Okay. All right, now we got to rinse out this bucket before it gets hard. Now what we need to do is we need to get the rubber sponge on our project here to work this in and bring out that sand aggregate finish. So you just wet the sponge and you work it in like this, like a circular pattern, and basically try to get that crowned top that you're going for, and work your stucco patch into the wall. So we're going to work this for a minute to get it to the finish that we're looking for. And then I'll give you a close-up of what it looks like. But basically, that's it. As your sponge dries out a little bit, you dip it in water and you get more water, and you take off the old stucco patch that's drying out. And if you don't achieve the proper finish on your first go around, let it set up and you can come back and put some more material on. It's not the end of the world. Although this is actually looking pretty good. Oh, and when you do your sponging, you want to move the sponge like this, so that's the way it's not digging into your project. You want to always be moving how the head of the sponge is hitting the project. Alright, we're pretty good. Just like that. And then I'll just sit back for a second here and look at that and make sure I'm happy with what I'm looking at in case I missed something. There's a little bit of a high spot right there, but that's not bad. Alright, I can let that go. I don't want to overwork it. I just want to stop as soon as I'm happy. And I'm pretty happy like that. Alright. Then I take my sponge and I make sure that that is clean. And then I just leave it in the water. Now, let me give you a close-up of the wall to show you what that looks like. Oh, one section here that I don't like. Alright, pretty much that's it. We're good. Alright, here is the close-up of the top of the wall, and I'm liking it, and I'm thinking it's pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is get ready for the next batch, which I want to be in front of the cardboard and on the wall now. So I'm going to take my sponge, my hose, rinse that down, and just get it a little saturated. Okay. And make sure my cardboard is ready. Got a little bit of dried stucco patch here. I want to move off of the cardboard. So this way, if I spill any, I can just pick it right up and put it on the project. Okay, we've got our batch, we've got our sponge, and now we want to get the material on the wall. We got our cardboard here. I like to keep one knee on the cardboard to keep it in place. Then get my stucco patch material on the trowel. And you can do this a few different ways. You can just grab the handle like this, or sometimes I'll just take both hands and put my fingers like this to push that material right into the wall really, really hard. So I get it on the wall, and then I can maneuver it around. And I try to get it on the wall as fast as possible. And if a little bit spills, it's okay because I can pick it up. And I try to work from the left over. Now there's a drain hole here. I don't want to cover that up because it's a retaining wall. So I'm going to go right to it, come up to here, and go around it. I can take my finger, it's a good part of having gloves on here, and just make sure it doesn't go in the hole while I put it in there. Alright, that's not bad. And I can work that with the sponge. The sun is coming down on me, making my working time less. So I got to move forward here. This is the time if you get a phone call, you let it go right to voicemail. Don't be disturbed and walk away, because this rapid set sets up so fast. It'll be an ugly mess by the time you get back to it. Okay, my bucket is empty. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to rinse out my bucket and then come back here and sponge float this in. So let me rinse out the bucket. Okay, here we go. Let's get that material on the wall. Let's get the sponge, the rubber sponge here, and get this worked in before it sets up on us. We only have so much time. Now, When I get down to the bottom here, what I do is just work it like this against the cardboard. And just try to work out all those little divots and ridges and all that, and try to get a nice smooth wall here. Okay, that's not bad. Stand back, QC the project. And that's not bad. This section looks pretty good. Make sure the stucco doesn't stick to the cardboard. I move it around a little bit, and that's fine. And now we can get ready for this next section right here. This whole thing can be moved down. Kind of like that. Okay. But the project is pretty much just like that. You just kind of work in your section and move down. Here you go. This project, well, the stucco portion of the project is in the rearview mirror for me, and I am happy with my DIY results. I think a professional could have done better, but I'm pretty damn close. I'm happy. I think once I put the paint on the wall that this is going to look just fine. And the only person that's going to notice imperfections is me, and that's just because I'm the guy that did the job. But it's just a wall. It's not I don't know, it's, you know, it's just simply a retaining wall. But these are the results that you can get with this technique that I did. You know, I'm very happy with the way that this comes out, and it's DIY friendly. Just show you over here. It's pretty much DIY friendly with that rubber sponge float, and then rubbing it and bringing it the aggregate a little bit, and you can produce really good results. So I just wanted to show you what the final outcome came. Okay, that's going to conclude this video on how to redo a stucco wall. Check out the complete series so you can see how I did the prep on this project, and prepped out the wall, which basically was scraping, pressure washing, and then I did an acid etch with muriatic acid, and then hosed everything off, got it nice and clean, let that dry out, and now you're seeing the next step, which is applying the rapid set stucco patch material. Then we'll let this set up. I'm basically going to continue that same process that you just saw me finish off this wall, let this whole thing cure out. Then what I'll do is I'll take my trowel, I'll hit any high spots off that are on the wall, that are on the stucco that were overlooked or missed during this stuccoing step. Then what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and paint with an elastomeric paint. And check out my channel, subscribe to my channel, Ken Training. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button right now. And that's it. I'll catch you on the flip side.